County this election, and that's because speaking with Travis County Clerk Dana Debuwa, she says they had to get creative and find new spots due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Now, polls open in just 2 hours, and Debuwa says this election is on track to break every previous record.
Just because we have voted so many people during early voting, I don't think there's going to be that much of a let up for Election Day.
Out of the 855,000 eligible Travis County voters, a little over 300,000 have yet to cast their ballots. Travis County Clerk Dana Debuwa believes we could see half of those voters show up to the polls on Election Day.
I don't think we're going to see this election slowing down at all.
She's expecting anywhere from 100 to 150,000 voters at least. For comparison, in 2016, 103,000 cast their ballots on Election Day. But this election has already crushed previous records.
Along about Wednesday, we surpassed the previous vote total for our previous presidential. That was 477,000 for the entire election.
Because of that, Debuwa believes voter turnout could reach record-breaking numbers.
Do you think there's any chance that we could pass 80% voter turnout?
Yes, I do. I think we are very much headed towards breaking our 78% turnout. I think we can easily see at least 700,000 people vote. I think that's very conservative. And I really do think we're looking at more of an 80% turnout, more than 700,000 people participate in this election. Very likely. And it's very exciting. You know, we've always said, what would a 100% turnout look like? We may get the chance to see it.
And keep in mind, mail-in ballots will also play a role in this election. Out of the 83,000 plus ballots they've sent out, I'm told they've gotten back about 70%, or just a little over 64,000 ballots. Again, the polls open at 7 this morning. That's in 2 hours, and they close at 7 this evening. Debuwa says voters can check wait times for each polling site online. Back to you.
All right, Candy, thank you so much.
Okay, well, once polls open up, you want to flip the channel to the CW Austin. I will be monitoring the traffic for any potential traffic tie-ups that could impact your morning drive to the polls. One thing we know is weather will be gorgeous if you are going to cast your ballot.
It will be, yeah, and we'll be watching the temperatures warm up once the sun comes up. Join us from 7 to 9 every weekday morning on the CW Austin. We'll help you navigate through the start of this election day. Live outside right now, it is a cold morning, especially in the suburbs in southeast Austin. Here we are at the Bold FC Kodacam, where it's 39 degrees. Nobody's near freezing, though, in town. Election day forecast looks great. Jacket weather this morning, but a big spike, so maybe dress in a layer that you can remove this afternoon. 74 at lunchtime and 79 as you're standing in line there this afternoon. Hey, we'll show you the overnight lows starting to warm up over your 3-day forecast. That's coming up in just a few minutes.
David, thank you. President Trump ends his battleground campaign tour overnight in Michigan. Yesterday, he traveled nearly 2,500 miles campaigning in North Carolina, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, and Michigan. Those are states he won 4 years ago, but the current polling out there shows him in a tight race or even trailing behind Joe Biden. Biden wrapped up his campaign in Pittsburgh.
Central Texas voters are going to decide the outcome in one of the tightest races in Texas. We're talking about U.S. House District 21. The district leans Republican, but this race is considered a toss-up. The district includes voters from Austin and San Antonio, as well as rural areas. Republican Chip Roy is hoping to keep his seat, and he is running against Wendy Davis. Davis is best known for her 2013 state Senate filibuster against abortion restrictions. Roy, best known for being Senator Ted Cruz's chief of staff before striking out on his own. He opposes big government spending and voted against relief for Hurricane Harvey and against the coronavirus relief package. The makeup of the Texas legislature could change this election as well.
Also watching that closely, Texas Democrats need 9 more seats in order to take control of the Texas House. So here's a look at the balance of power as it stands right now. 67 Democrats and 83 Republicans. Democrats need to flip 9 seats and keep the ones they picked up 2 years ago. Democrats haven't even held a House majority since the 2004 election following a redistricting fight.
It would be a big deal because the Senate there still favors Republicans. There's 16 Senate races, and it looks like the Republicans are going to hold on to the majority.
We want you to know KXAN is your local election headquarters. Join us tonight for up-to-the-minute results. NBC News Live coverage starts at 6:30 and continues all night. KXAN News will bring you live, local updates every half hour. Then tune in for an hour-long edition of KXAN News at 10 and at KXAN.com. We are live streaming continuous coverage of local races, candidate speeches, and analysis of the results.
Turning now to our coverage of the coronavirus, and Texas has surpassed California in the number of COVID-19 infections. Johns Hopkins University reports more than 937,000 infections statewide. Texas health officials confirmed there have been more than 18,000 deaths from coronavirus. In our area, Travis County reporting the most active cases right now with more than 900. In Hays County, the number's up over 300. And meantime, in Burnett County, they are now reporting more active infections than Williamson County is. All students at Lagos Elementary are going to have to switch to online learning today as the campus is now closed for cleaning. This will be until November 17th. It's after a staff member at the campus was diagnosed with COVID-19. Administrators closed Manor Elementary Early Learning Center last week after at least 2 cases were reported there. Students there are learning remotely through November 12th.
Okay, there is no school today for Austin ISD students. Just a reminder, parents, in case they want to sleep in a little bit or in case you want to take them to the polls if you get to vote. It's a student holiday because of Election Day. And just yesterday, the district opened their doors to all students who want to learn in person. The superintendent says only about 35%, though, district-wide took him up on that, and they are expected to be on campus. We went to Menchaca Elementary School yesterday where Candy showed us how they use frequent hand sanitizing. They are supervised. There was adequate social distancing. Masks were working and they were worn both indoors and outdoors. These are protocols the principal is strictly enforcing.
The ability to creatively problem solve on the spot with any new challenges is an important skill set to have for a school administrator.
The application process is now underway for teachers who need accommodations to teach from home in the spring. Teachers have to make that request by November 15th.
All AISD students are home today. The district will distribute free meals at campuses being used as polling locations. The school district will provide curbside 7-day meal packs at the locations that you see here up on your screen. This is in addition to the district's weekly meal distribution. Meals will be served from 10 a.m. until 1:30 p.m. at polling sites or until all of the packages are gone. Some of your favorite breakfast and lunch spots are offering incentives for voters. Krispy Kreme will give out free glazed donuts while supplies last, something we all need. No proof of voting is required, but it's certainly encouraged. Shake Shack is also offering free burgers to poll workers with proof of badge. DoorDash has free delivery on all orders over $15 with the promo code VOTE. If you need to work off all of that free food, we've got you because here is an option. Planet Fitness is offering voters a free workout and hydro massage.
That is a deal. You go to Shake Shack, you get your burger, Krispy Kreme, you get your donut, then you take
a hydro massage.
Yeah, then you go work it out and get a massage. I love today.
What is a hydro massage? Is that like some water and
water jets?
Sounds fabulous.
Sure. Okay.
I just heard massage. Sign me up.
Exactly.
There are also cool groups I'm sure you guys have heard of, like Pizza to the Polls, where if you have a crowded voting line, they'll bring free food to everybody, and they're just trying to make sure everybody stays there to vote.
Another local option too, home slice pizza. If you show your I voted sticker, they'll give you a slice of pizza.
Awesome.
Isn't it funny how excited we get about food? We're like, well, then there's home slice.
I love Election Day. I love free food. What else can we expect?
And the weather, guys, is not going to hold you back from voting today. We have a very, very pleasant weather pattern continuing with dry sunshine over the next 3 days. Notice, though, after a cold Election Day morning here in the 40s in town, the overnight lows especially start to warm up. 50 degrees tomorrow morning, 56 degrees on Thursday morning. That's just a byproduct of some humidity slowly returning, but it never gets that hot or humid. 80 degrees or so for the next several afternoons in a row. Let's talk about the tropics. Here we are on a special mode of the satellite so I can show you just how intense Hurricane Eta is this morning. Eta is now the strongest hurricane of the Atlantic season so far, and among the top 3 strongest we have ever seen during the month of November. This is the coast of Nicaragua, and you can see this storm losing a little bit of intensity as it interacts with land overnight, but boy, is it an intense one. It's almost a Category 5, 150-mile-per-hour winds. It'll fall apart pretty quickly over the next couple of days. But as we first warned you would happen here 2 days ago, the storm, even though it may fall apart for a couple of days, should regenerate as it returns to the open Caribbean Sea this weekend. After that time, there's a lot of uncertainty. Some models actually do have it wandering back toward the Gulf, so something even for Texas to potentially watch. We'll keep you advised. Coming up, we're looking toward the first weekend of November with warmer and more humid weather. We also have extended rainfall outlooks through the middle of the month. If you need your forecast now, you never have to wait. It's on KVET 98.1.
All right, how about some more incentives to get out there and vote? If you need a ride to the polls today, we're going to go over the free options available for Central Texas voters.
And this is pretty hard to believe. A train on an elevated track comes close to falling 30 feet, but can you tell what's holding it up? A whale's tail saving the day.
Hey, good morning. 5:15 is your time on this Election Day Tuesday. One of the major ballot items this election is the future of Austin's traffic situation. This is Prop A, and this is all about Project Connect. Voters have the choice to approve raising the city's tax rate to pay for a new light rail, a small downtown subway, and an extended bus system. And voters will also decide on the future of Austin's Proposition B. That is a $460 million transportation bond. And if that one passes, it would fund bicycle routes, sidewalks, and more trails out there. Also, keeping an eye on this, the race for District House 45. The district covers Blanco and Hayes County, a large stretch there. Kerry Isaac is hoping to unseat Aaron Zwiener. Texas Republicans aim to flip that seat after losing it back in 2018. Zwiener has been visible on environmental issues in the district. Isaac has emphasized her belief in limited government, gun rights, and ending abortion.
This morning we're hearing from San Marcos Police Officer Claudia Cormier. Investigators say a drunk driver hit her last year while she responded to a call on I-35.
I hope that people listen, pay attention, and move over, because my family was very close to losing me.
The Texas Department of Transportation sharing this video. Cormier talks about her own story and the slow down, move over law. Drivers in Texas are legally required to move out of the lane closest to first responders' vehicles or slow down at least 20 miles an hour below the speed limit that's posted. She lost her right leg after a car hit her.
I asked myself, why me? But I'm also very blessed to be here.
Cormier returned to work with the San Marcos Police Department in August.
That is one tough lady right there. Well, a heads up for drivers this week. TxDOT has closed the main lanes of State Highway 130 so crews can install test toll equipment. Southbound lanes of SH 130 will be closed north of Cameron Road starting at 9 p.m. and lasting through 5 a.m. through Wednesday. Now on Friday, work will switch to the northbound side. The work is expected to wrap up by next Monday morning.
Rescue crews in Turkey continue to find survivors days after a 7.0 magnitude earthquake.
Overnight, they pulled a 4-year-old little girl from the rubble of the collapsed apartment in the coastal city where she was found. Another little girl is recovering in the hospital after she was found underneath debris. This little girl is 3 years old.
Yeah, rescuers found her 2 sisters and brother alive in the wreckage along with their mother on Saturday. One of the children later died. The death toll is now more than 100 there.
And a major cleanup effort is underway in the area hit hard by a super typhoon in the eastern part of the Philippines. Super typhoon, by the way, is just what they call a major hurricane in that part of the world. Folks there are dealing with damage from devastating winds and flooding. The storm was the strongest on the planet in the last several years, with winds of 195 miles per hour before landfall. At least 16 people there were killed, and the high waters swept away some 13,000 homes. The typhoon hit the Philippines on Sunday.
All right, let's take a look at this video here. An elevated train in the Netherlands was saved by a sculpture yesterday. So the metro train smashed through barriers at the end of the line, but here's the thing, it was caught by a whale's tail. The train car was left perched more than 30 feet above the ground. The train operator, as you can imagine, was pretty shaken, but thankfully uninjured. No passengers were on board at the time. And get this, the name of the sculpture, Saved by a Whale's Tail.
What? No. They named it after that, or that was its original name?
It's been renamed Saved by a Whale's Tail. One thing that you don't see in that video is that those tails in the end of the line are actually surrounded by like a man-made pond, so that train could have gone into the water.
Wow.
Oh, no.
All the more fitting that the whale's tails are there.
That's right.
Very good. Thank goodness. Some positive news. Let's take you outside. It is cold out there, guys, this morning, but there's no wind to add to these chilly temperatures. Check out the Austonian weather cam with mostly clear skies. 47 degrees right now at 5:20 in the morning, and we're gearing up for a gorgeous election day forecast. Over the last several days, the weather's just been about perfect, hasn't it? That's going to continue with only a few clouds there on the satellite and radar. 79 degrees, a quick warm-up aided in part by the sunshine, but also the south winds. These little south winds don't do much to our humidity today, staying nice and low. But over the next several days, as the little southeast wind continues tonight, tomorrow, etc., it will steadily bump up our humidity. It's not going to make it feel terribly muggy outside, but it will warm up our mornings starting tomorrow and into the weekend. The muggy meter, it never gets that bad, so don't worry too much. Here we are way bottomed out today. It stays in the comfy category through Thursday and Friday, but then it does spike a bit this weekend. It will be feeling a little bit sweatier and muggier, especially by Sunday. This humidity, though, is not going to aid us with any rain chances. We've been quite dry for much of October. Remember, it was the 6th driest on record out at the airport. And it looks like November may actually start off the same way. Just a couple of rain showers possible, mainly east, over the next 7 days. And that rain chance doesn't even come until day 7 of our 7-day forecast. Afternoon highs stay pretty consistent through the weekend, but the morning lows do warm up noticeably by Friday, Saturday, Sunday. This coming weekend, a mix of clouds and sun, a little breezy and muggy, as we discussed. Early next week, just a slight chance of rain on Monday, but that is not really a sign of things to come. I'm looking 14 days into the future through the middle of the month, and I'm still not seeing much of an opportunity for soaking rain.
Hey, good morning. I want you to check out some breaking news. A live look at water that is rushing onto a street near Lavaca and 6th Street. This is the result of a water main break in downtown Austin. Again, this is Lavaca near 6th Street. Our reporter, our photographer / reporter, Todd Bailey, is out there giving you a live look of what the situation looks like. He's zooming out to show you, I know, all the water on the street right there. We did reach out to Austin Water for details, and it looks like there is an area that's blocked there. Mandy, do we know what area that is?
This is rated 6 and Lavaca, as you mentioned, and Todd Bailey's also confirming that you will not be able to travel northbound in that area. It looks like they have some barricades up too. So if you need to get around this, you do have several options. We'll have a closer look at those alternate routes on Guadalupe, Congress Avenue, Lamar coming up.
All right, stay with us.
And for the 3rd time in the last 10 years, voters in Puerto Rico are going to once again vote whether the U.S. territory should enter statehood. The referendum here is non-binding, so keep that in mind, as we haven't seen it the last 2 times. Congress would have to approve any change. Puerto Ricans voted in favor of statehood, though, in 2012 and 2017. Voters will also elect a new governor tonight. Now, 2 brothers in North Texas are using their political differences to forge a healthy relationship.
How about that? Nathaniel and Hayden Paget have found plenty to talk about this year. The two brothers say that a healthy exchange of ideas has unfortunately become all too rare in the current political climate. And so what they're doing is working to change that dynamic within their own community.
I think like us having different viewpoints makes us like stronger, you know, because we're able to be challenged.
I don't go like, oh, you're stupid for that policy, because Nathaniel supports it. And so he's not dumb. So there must be some other reason why you support that policy.
Nationwide polls show that Americans are increasingly divided over politics, causing friendships and in some cases families to, stop talking together, stop talking altogether to each other. Despite a record number of early voting, this could still be a long election night. Get ready. Coming up, we're going to talk to a history professor about the variables that could delay those important election results.
And we'll still be here tomorrow morning to break it all down. There are some presidential results we can share with you this morning. Next, the two New Hampshire communities that voted overnight and the results after the break. Good morning. Thanks for being with us here on KXAN News Today. I'm Tom Miller.
Good morning, Tom. Good morning, everyone. I'm Sally Hernandez. Today's Election Day. It's Tuesday, and the polls open in less than 3 hours from now. And we are already following some breaking news when it comes to the election from overnight in the Houston area.
Yeah, this is the new development. Drive-through voting in Houston. It's going to continue, but they are now down to just one drive-through location. The Harris County clerk closing 9 others just before midnight. The Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals denied a motion to stop drive-through voting altogether. Conservative activist Steve Hotze and other GOP candidates backed this case, questioning the legality of drive-through voting. Hotze is also behind the previous case that attempted to get 127,000 drive-through ballots tossed out. The court also denied that effort.
But the same federal judge that initially ruled against the request to toss out votes also said he did not think the tents in the drive-through voting should be used. He said only buildings should be used for that. So the Harris County clerk preemptively closed 9 of their drive-through sites which use tents, and the only one that is now open on this election day for voters is the Toyota Center.
We also have some election results to report as both Joe Biden and President Trump have some small victories under their belts. New Hampshire communities, 2 of them, cast their ballots at midnight, marking a 60-year tradition. Biden won all 5 votes in Dixville Notch. It's the first time a candidate has swept this town since Richard Nixon beat John F. Kennedy 9-0 in 1960. Meantime, just 12 miles away in Millsfield, President Trump won 16 votes to Joe Biden's 5. It is 5:31. Let's go to David Yeomans. And if you are out voting today, no excuses. The weather's going to be great.
That's right. And you guys are already counting the votes this morning. Check out the current temperatures here. 30s in Fredericksburg and Llano. A little warmer, as always, in Austin at 47. But look at that. Even San Marcos dipping to 39 degrees. Overall, a nice cold and calm November morning. As Tom said, no excuses weather-wise not to get out there. This election day looks perfect. Sunshine, light winds, and a high temperature much warmer than it is right now at 79. We'll have your 3-day forecast with warmer mornings on the way, and also a look at your allergies as you start your day. That's coming up in just a few minutes. Amanda?
All right, thank you, David. As we take it out to a live picture now from our photojournalist Todd Bailey. He's set up in downtown Austin at 6th and Lavaca, where a water main break is happening. You can see all that water spilling out onto the road. It looks like they have some barricades up in the area as well. Drivers who are traveling northbound will be diverted to a detour. If this is part of your morning commute, you'll need to stay away from it. Again, this is on West 6th Street. To get around it, if we go to our Metro Maps now, I can give you some better perspective of that alternate route. So you have some options here. Of course, you have 5th Street, you have 7th Street, 8th Street, and then from there, Guadalupe, San Antonio, Lamar, Congress Avenue will all help you continue on those northbound lanes. We have reached out to Austin Water to get an update on when this could potentially reopen. But again, avoid that area at 6th and Lavaca.
You bet. Thank you. Austin police say one person is in custody after they stabbed a man and then locked themselves inside a home overnight. Police were called out to Wooten Park Drive just before midnight. This is near Anderson Lane, and they found a man with a stab wound, another person inside the home refusing to come out.
Yeah. They also took the victim to the hospital and called in SWAT. Officers were eventually able to get the person to come out peacefully. No word on what led up to this stabbing.
Well, our election coverage continues this morning. It starts right now.
Yeah.
Polls open in less than 2 hours. And if you're going to go out there and vote today, we want to give you an idea. What are some of the big races that we're watching for you?
Yeah, among the biggest here in Texas is the race for the U.S. Senate seat between incumbent Republican Senator John Cornyn and Democratic challenger M.J. Hager. The final Emerson College poll came out last week, and it found that Cornyn maintained his lead. He was up 5 points on Hager, 50-45. That is or I should say the margin of error is 3.5%. So outside of the margin of error, Cornyn has been in the Senate since 2002. If he wins, it'll be his 4th term. Hager narrowly lost a U.S. House race 2 years ago. Democrats have not won a statewide race in Texas in 25 years and haven't sent a Democrat to the Senate since 1988.
Well, in Williamson County, voters will decide whether to re-elect Sheriff Robert Chody or elect challenger Mike Gleason. Chody was elected sheriff in 2016. The two have varying ideas on policing and where resources will be allocated. Chody says specialized units helped push investigations forward and solve old crimes. Gleason says there's no need for the specialized work, saying deputies should be getting to know neighborhoods they work and providing basic security. Chody also faces criticism for the department's involvement in the show Live PD and how it handled the death of Javier Ambler. Chody was indicted for tampering with evidence in relation to the case.
Well, a group supporting Austin police is trying to clear the air after a photo is going around from a rally in downtown Austin that appears to show some Austin police officers in that photo with several men holding up white racist supremacist signals.
Yeah, KXAN's Jacqueline Powell explains how they say this happened and why the officers in the photo may have violated policy for a different reason.
This is the photo op in question. A group of Austin police officers who were patrolling during a couple of rallies downtown near City Hall Sunday were asked to pose with those rallying in support of them.
Hey, are you guys good with taking a picture?
One group in this photo was rallying to refund the police and another to recall Mayor Adler. 3 people pictured on the far right appeared to be making the OK sign with their hands, a gesture identified by the Anti-Defamation League as a white power symbol. So we've chosen to blur that out. The president of the Wind Therapy Freedom Riders, which organized the pro-police rally, says neither his group nor the police were aware extremists had jumped into the photo. He shared this group's Facebook Live video of the event with us.
And the Proud Boys actually at one point ran behind me and kind of snuck in and photobombed on the far right-hand side of the picture. If you notice on that picture, they're not in the middle. They're not with any of us.
The Austin Police Association's president also released a statement saying if the officers would have known what was going on, they wouldn't have participated in the photo. Still, APD policy says officers in uniform can't be photographed endorsing or supporting any political campaign or initiative or social issue or cause. In the group's video, the officers could be seen refusing to take a photo with pro-police political candidates at the rally, but signs that read "Recall Mayor Adler" and a President Trump sign and flag can clearly be seen in this photo. APD tells us it's looking into whether that was a policy violation. Jacqueline Powell, KXAN News.
Thank you, Jackie. Okay, as we mentioned, polls open at 7 a.m. this morning, and when they close later on tonight, the big question I think a lot of us will have is how soon are we going to find out how Texas voted?
Yeah, it's a question everyone's going to want to know. Some states are able to get their results back right away. Others could take longer. Nabil Rahman tells us what we can expect to see here in the Lone Star State.
Will we know who wins the presidency on election night?
David Lauterbach, a professor of history at ACC, says it's hard to tell.
Most experts tend to agree we're not going to know the night of.
Each state has its own rules for how votes are counted and reported. Some will know much quicker than others.
Florida, for example, their law says we start counting votes early, and they've been doing so for weeks.
Meaning results could be in just a few hours. Texas should have most results in on election night as well.
Remember, in the state of Texas, a lot of our early voting is at a polling booth. It's a lot easier to process, a lot easier for us to tally.
More than 9 million Texans turned out to vote early. The record turnout could slow the counting process, though, depending on how many voters show up on Election Day.
If we don't have all the early voting numbers processed, we have to wait. We have to wait and see how they will change the election. Now, if the turnout in Texas is very different than what was expected, then those early votes become even more important. How will they change the outcome of the votes cast on Election Day?
Nabil Rahman, KXAN News.
Now, another factor in this election, more people are voting by mail this year, which also takes more time to review and also count.
Well, hey, if you need a ride to the polls today, Cap Metro can help you out. You can get a ride for free. It says voters can use the Cap Metro app to plan a trip. All you got to do is type vote, election, or polling place into the search bar. You'll get a list of voting locations and transit options from which to choose. Now, if you are in San Marcos, Spin Scooters is offering free scooter rides to the polls. Riders can get $10 in credit today only. All you have to do is tap free rides in the app using the promo code SPIN to vote. Rideshare apps like Lyft are also offering discount rides. You use the code 2020VOTE for up to $10 off of a ride.
Yeah. Wow, and we're going to tell you coming up in the next hour too, where you can get some free food and free donuts. You can take that ride-sharing service to those different locations.
Yes.
We're going to talk about later on.
There you go.
Genius.
There was once, on that note, there was once a Taco Bell taco giveaway, and I went to 3 different Taco Bells.
No.
Nice.
You got them all?
I got
I'm
3
proud of you.
different tacos.
I am proud of you.
You know, I like you even more now, Tom. I know.
Good.
Gosh.
Well, gorgeous dry weather continues through the work week, and this is going to lead to a really lovely Election Day forecast. It is cold this morning, but notice on the 3-day, this is the coldest morning that we'll have for the next few days. Overnight lows warm up by 5 or 6 degrees tomorrow and on Thursday. Afternoon highs, they're pretty consistent, close to 80 for the next few days. Some humidity will be coming back. That's why the lows get a little warmer. You know, we haven't seen much rain overall, aside from those couple damp days there at the end of October. That has led to this, the expansion and the return return of drought status in much of our soil. Pollen count not looking too bad for juniper or grass allergy sufferers. Ragweed, though, this is the season, and that is high this morning. Coming up, the first weekend of November with more humid weather expected. We'll take a look at your Saturday, Sunday plans, and if there's any rainfall on the horizon through your 7 and even your 14-day forecast.
.544 on this election day. We have made it to November 3rd. Finally, as we take a live look at the state capitol where the balance of power will be decided today, and there are some questions about which way this is going to go. Meantime, some businesses in Austin are boarded up this morning in preparation for potential political unrest. The business owners we talked to say they just want to be safe considering some of the damage done to other downtown businesses during protests over the summer.
My employees are scared. They don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. We are scared, and that's the reason why you see all this boarding up. And that boarding up is an unnecessary expense.
The Austin Chamber of Commerce says it wants businesses to be safe, but didn't give any specific safety guidance, leaving that up to local and state leaders.
Well, in San Antonio, the Alamo is getting temporary fencing as well. Staff announcing they're going to set it up for the rest of the week. They say this is just a precaution. A similar scene, though, over in downtown Dallas. Apartments there, storefronts, offices, all boarded up. They're still open, but they want to be extra careful, they say, during this election, and they want to be prepared.
Pilots at some U.S. airlines think the government can improve proposed training for the Boeing 737 MAX. Well, that's the plane that's been grounded since March of last year after 2 crashes killed 436 people. The FAA is close to letting it fly again, but they still need to approve a new pilot training program. Families of the victims say the training proposal right now isn't comprehensive enough. Boeing hopes the FAA approves changes to the plane before year end. Well, as many airlines still deal with low numbers of travelers, some gave away seats in hopes of getting a little bit of cash.
Yeah, major deals here. Alaska Airlines ran sales this summer offering an entire row for the price of 1 ticket. That is some social distancing. While European carrier Ryanair offered 2-for-1 specials. Analysts say the priority has been really just drop prices as low as you can to fill the few planes that you do have so you can just break even.
During the break here, we were daydreaming about a couple destinations we wouldn't mind going to.
And the whole row to yourself.
Why not?
But
nobody can tell you about your seat being relaxed or anything like that.
Instead, though, now we're hearing about fill in the middle seats.
Right.
So we've gone in the opposite direction.
Right in time for the holidays, too. Well, it's cold out there this morning. It feels like a nice November start for your election day. Typical temperatures here in town in the upper 40s under clear skies. Not much wind out there either. Temperatures are in the 30s in some suburbs, even out toward the Austin Airport and in Del Valley. High pressure is in control of our weather, which is why it looks very benign, very calm across the state this morning. A couple high clouds drifting in from the west is all you'll see today. South-southeast winds do restart, and we'll talk about that in a moment. 79, though, a beautiful election day to get out there and exercise your right to vote if you haven't done so already. Let's talk about that little subtle wind shift. We've had a north breeze for a couple of days, keeping the humidity low and the temperatures cool. But notice later today, those winds snap to from the south and southeast, and they won't be very strong tomorrow either. But this persistent southerly flow returning is gradually going to warm up our morning lows starting tomorrow, and it'll bring back some humidity, which won't be really noticeable until this weekend. Muggy meter never gets terrible, so don't worry too much. It's bottomed out today and early tomorrow. Then finally this weekend, especially on Sunday, it does spike a bit. So a muggier first weekend of November. But even with the humidity coming back, we still don't have much rain in our forecast. Over the next 7 days, little to no rainfall expected. And I'll show you the 14-day outlook in a moment. It doesn't look great for the drought either. 79 degrees today, 80 degrees tomorrow. Notice even as the morning lows warm up by 5 or 10 degrees by Friday, the afternoon highs just don't, so don't worry about the heat and humidity too much. This coming weekend for your Saturday, Sunday plans, a little cloudier, a little more humid and breezy, but overall pretty nice for your outdoor activities. Early next week, just a slight chance of rain Monday, but that is not really a sign of things to come. Near normal chances of rainfall according to the Climate Prediction Center through the middle of the month, but you know, I've been looking at the extended models. I am not real optimistic for soaking rain, possibly over the next 2 weeks as a whole.
I don't think we're going to see this election slowing down at all.
Despite a record early voting turnout coming up, why Travis County could come close to reaching 100% voter turnout tonight.
All right, as we take a live picture for you right now, we're looking at 6th and Lavaca in downtown Austin. A water main break is flooding that intersection there. Austin Water just got to the scene. Our photojournalist Todd Bailey is bringing us this live picture now, and he says that the northbound lanes of Lavaca are currently closed. As you can see, crews trying to assess what's happening here and get that repaired as quickly as possible. Currently, we don't know when this will be back open for your morning commute, but you do have several options to get around it. We'll go over those coming up in the next few minutes.
This is KXAN Sports, brought to you by Thomas J. Henry.
Thanks, Roger. We have a warning this morning from doctors as nearly half of Americans have high blood pressure. And according to the American Heart Association, many of them don't know they have this. New research published in JAMA Cardiology finds levels of blood pressure that are typically considered normal can still be high enough to cause some damage. The old guidelines say that good blood pressure is 140/90. Now it's been lowered to 120/80. The danger of undetected high blood pressure can come at an even higher cost.
The dangers of having unrecognized high blood pressure are increased chance of heart disease, stroke, kidney disease. It's the leading cause of kidney failure, and as well as the eyes can be affected as well. So basically, organs of the body get affected in very bad ways. So that's why it's important to control.
On the flip side, doctors say you want to watch out for blood pressure that's too low as well. That can cause symptoms of lightheadedness.
Okay, Cook Children's Hospital in Dallas is taking part in groundbreaking work when it comes to epilepsy.
Katie Blakey meets a little boy that they're trying to help and found out how soon they'll help many more.
7-year-old Miller Queen lives with Dravet syndrome, a rare and severe form of epilepsy. Yet you wouldn't know it watching him play soccer.
I like being on my soccer team.
The seizures started when he was 6 months old. Sometimes there'd be 10 a day.
Daily life when you don't have seizure control is just a roller coaster. You're kind of always living on edge, waiting for the next seizure to happen.
Every treatment they tried failed. Then they met Dr. Scott Perry, medical director of neurology at Cook Children's.
When you deal with epilepsies that are so difficult to control, it certainly becomes difficult, not to feel that there's not an answer.
An answer for Miller came after enrolling in a clinical trial for the drug fenfluramine. Once used as a dieting pill, the drug stopped Miller's seizures completely. He's now doing things they never thought possible and celebrating 3 years seizure-free.
He has always been such a happy kid, but now he's able to experience life to the fullest.
The clinical trial showed fenfluramine reduced seizures on average by about 70%. Thanks to Miller's story and the critical research happening at Cook Children's, the drug just received FDA approval, meaning more kids can now live active lives.
The next medication's likelihood of making you seizure-free is a 2%. But you know what? You might be that 2%. So that's why we keep looking for it.
Miller's parents say his story is proof.
If something doesn't work, don't lose hope.
Right, you never know.
Yeah, important message there. Texas already broke early voting records, including here in Travis County.
Coming up, the number of voters that could turn this into 100% turnout by the end of the night. That's never happened before. David is back with the latest temperature forecasts as well on this election day and for the rest of your work week. We'll be right back with more news, weather, and traffic.
In-depth, investigative. You're watching KXAN News Today at 6.
Some breaking news from overnight as drive-through voting is going to go on today in Houston after multiple attempts to stop it.
Yes, so here is the thing though when it comes to that ruling, these legal battles back and forth. So this one means instead of 10 drive-through voting locations, only one drive-through voting location will be open today in Harris County. Hours before the appeals court ruling, a federal judge in Harris County threw out the Republican-backed case, but questioned the use of tents for these drive-through voting locations. And that caused the Harris County clerk to close 9 of the drive-through locations for Election Day. Only one is open. That's the Toyota Center. 127,000 people have already voted at these drive-through locations this election, and their votes will be counted.
Here in Travis County, we're going into Election Day with 65% voter turnout already during early voting.
We're talking about 9.7 million Texans have already voted or mailed in their ballot. That is more than the total votes of the last presidential election. And turnout for this election will end up even reaching higher numbers.
Candy Rodriguez checked in with the county's top election official. She joins us live from one of the 178 voting centers in Travis County. Good morning, Candy.
Tom and Sally, good morning. This is the Indeed building here at the Domain, and it's one of the county's newest polling sites. And that's because speaking with Travis County Clerk Dana Debuwa, she tells me they had to get creative in finding new sites because of the COVID-19 pandemic. And they have some venues, including a wedding hall and a circus training center, just to give you an idea. Now, polls open in just an hour at 7 this morning, and Debuwa says this election is on track to break every previous record.
Just because we have voted so many people during early voting, I don't think there's going to be that much of a let up for election day.
Out of the 855,000 eligible Travis County voters, a little over 300,000 have yet to cast their ballots. Travis County Clerk Dana Debuwa believes we could see half of those voters show up to the polls on Election Day.
I don't think we're going to see this election slowing down at all.
She's expecting anywhere from 100 to 150,000 voters at least. For comparison, in 2016, 103,000 cast their ballots on Election Day. But this election has already crushed previous records.
Along about Wednesday, we surpassed the previous vote total for our previous presidential. That was 477,000 for the entire election.
Because of that, Debuwa believes voter turnout could reach record-breaking numbers.
Do you think there's any chance that we could pass 80% voter turnout?
Yes, I do. I think we are very much headed towards breaking our 78% turnout. I think we could easily see at least 700,000 people vote. I think that's very conservative. And I really do think we're looking at more of an 80% turnout, more than 700,000 people participate in this election. Very likely. And it's very exciting. You know, we've always said, what would a 100% turnout look like? We may get the chance to see it.
Now, mail-in ballots will also play a role in this election. Just to give you an idea, out of the 83,000 plus they've sent out, they've gotten back about 70%, or just a little over 64,000 ballots. Again, the polls open in just about an hour at 7. It's 6:03. Yeah, in an hour they're about to open, and they close at 7 this evening. Debuwa says voters can check wait times for each poll site across the county online. Back to you.
I cannot imagine 100% of registered voters could actually turn out for this election. Amazing. Thank you, Candy.
You know, we were hearing that there are already